In pickleball, the team that controls the net controls the game. But what if you struggle with getting to the net? Or what if you can't get to the non-volley zone at all? In today's video, we're covering how to master the transition zone and how to get from the baseline to the non-volley zone with confidence. It's my hope that with this video, you'll have a plan for overcoming no man's land the next time you step foot on the court. Let's get into it. Hey guys, and welcome to High Five Pickleball. My name is Adam Richards, and today we're covering the transition zone. The transition zone is about 15 feet of space between the baseline and the non-volley zone, and it's often called no man's land because a lot of players struggle with this space. What often happens is on your third shot, if you hit an attackable shot, your opponent who's at the net attacks and hits down, which makes your fifth shot a lot more difficult. And when you're in the transition zone, you can get stuck there, and without a strategy, this can be really frustrating. Before we get into the actual mechanics of this shot, let's talk about that strategy and some of the mindset tips that can set you up for success. All right, the first strategy tip here is that you're playing defense. And what I mean by that is, if you hit an attackable third, because your opponents are at the net and you are somewhere around here, they have the more offensive position because they're closer to the net, and you have to take a defensive shot. So that means you're not speeding up the ball, you're not attacking the ball, but you're taking a defensive shot. Now there are rules to every exception. Maybe if you're setting up a shake and bake or you're anticipating a shot that you can attack, but for the most part, you're playing defense. The next strategy tip here is to stay patient and to earn your way. Sometimes it may take your fifth, your seventh, or even your ninth shot to get to the net. But overall, your goal is to hit an unattackable shot that neutralizes your opponent so that you can safely transition. So just remember to stay patient and to earn your way. The last strategy tip here is to stay calm and close the distance. After your third shot, it may be tempting just to rush the net and get there as quickly as possible, but that's not always a great idea because your opponent can attack the ball either down at your feet or even behind you, and that's a really difficult shot to defend, and you're basically in a bad position. Instead, you want to slowly close the distance and wait for your opponent to be neutralized, wait for that right shot so that you can get access to the net.
If you want to improve your game beyond the transition zone, you could waste a lot of time searching for the next instructional tip that may or may not help you. If you want to improve faster without all of the wasted time of searching, check out the Path to Better Pickleball. It's a free curated path of tips with a skills guide and 10 step-by-step videos sent straight to your inbox. You won't have to worry about searching for your next tip or wasting time doing that because it's intentionally designed and will automatically come to your inbox. Thousands of players have benefited, and I get positive feedback every week from them. If you'd like to join for free, just click the link in the description.
The first step, and one of the most overlooked aspects of the transition zone, is reading your own shot. After you hit the shot, you want to watch where it goes, how high it is, and what your opponent is planning to do with it. So you're reading for cues like overheads, speed ups, or did it neutralize your opponent? All of these things could help you either get to the non-volley zone or prepare to play defense. The next step is getting into good position. So let's say that you do hit a high third shot and you see that attack coming. What you want to do is stop and engage what's called a split step. And all that is just a small hop that gets your feet under you in an athletic stance with your weight just slightly forward on the balls of your feet. That way you have the best possible defensive position to hit the ball out front and to dig it up in case they do hit an overhead at you. So what you're not doing is you're not standing flat-footed or straight up, and you're not leaning back on your heels, but you're engaged, your weight's slightly forward, and you're ready to take that ball out front. A quick tip on the split step, on the timing of it, is let's say your opponent's hitting the ball just before they hit the ball. You want to engage that split step and get ready. That way you're ready to play defense before the ball even bounces. If you'd like to learn more about the split step, I'll include a link in the description to where you can do a deeper dive and learn all about it. The third step here is getting low. Now that you're in position, Your feet are under you. You want to bend your knees and drop your paddle closer to the ground, because what's happening is if your opponent's attacking that shot, they're either hitting an overhead or they're speeding up the ball. They're probably going to hit the ball down at your feet. So you want to drop your paddle down to the ground, be ready to take that ball off the bounce or take it out of the air. Another thing you can do if you need more stability is to go a little bit wider. That way you have a wide, stable base. That stability will ensure that you have the best possible defense to either dig those balls up off the bounce or take them out of the air. All right, the next step here is making contact with the ball. Now that you're low, you're in position, your paddle is low, you want to have an open paddle face. And what I like to do is I defer to my backhand, because I feel like I can comfortably cover more distance with my backhand than I can with my forehand. Around here, it feels a little bit awkward, and I feel like I lose control with the shots. But that's really your preference. I would recommend that you do what feels most comfortable for you. But I have my backhand, and have that open paddle face. My grip pressure is around 3 to 5. And a lot of times you can let the paddle do a lot of the work for you. But ultimately, you're taking the ball out front, and I prefer to try and take those shots out of the air more so than off the bounce. And the reason for that is if the ball bounces, it's going to introduce more variables that could create an error in your shot. So my priority is taking the ball out of the air, if possible, digging it up over taking it off the bounce. But again, that's a preferential thing. I'll also say that if you need more stability, you can use your non-dominant hand. Like let's say with your backhand, you can use your non-dominant hand to help dig those up and add some more stability, especially if that attack is maybe an overhead or if it's coming really hard at you. And lastly, another tip here to think about is if you're in the transition zone somewhere here and you are expecting a ball here, but you're getting a ball that's chest high or maybe even shoulder high, you can let that ball go. And that is an easy way to win that point. All right, the last step here is getting to the non-volley zone. Now that you made contact with the ball, you want to be looking to hit a shot that bounces in your opponent's non-volley zone, or at least neutralizes your opponent. That way you can safely close the distance and get to the non-volley zone, play out the point, and win the point.
If you'd like to improve your shots in the transition zone, you will need to get comfortable with taking more shots here. One fun drill for this is a modified game of skinny singles where player A always starts at the baseline and player B always starts at the non-volley zone. And player B is working to keep player A back. After a cooperative serve, the point is live and player A must get to the non-volley zone. Player A must score 7 points to win and player B must score 11 points to win. Another drill is called Beat the Feet, where you stand in the transition zone and take speed ups at your feet. Your goal with this drill is to practice hitting unattackable shots into your opponent's non-volley zone. Your opponent's goal is to work on fourth shot attacks. To increase the challenge here, have your opponent step into the kitchen so that he or she can take more balls out of the air. What was your biggest takeaway from this video? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, please remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. It may sound small, but it is a huge help to my channel, and I really appreciate it. Also, if you'd like to enter a drawing for a giveaway, check out my Instagram channel this week. I'm doing a special giveaway that ends this Friday, so be sure to follow me there. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.